Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another Master of Puppets Brewery Showcase with a lot of stuff here. It's not just beer. I guess we could call this the Nøgne Ø extravaganza. So Tom from Nøgne Ø was kind enough to send me a box of beer, I think just before I went to the States, that I didn't get around to check out. And then when I got back, he had another one for me. So we accumulated a total of 7 new products, newer products from Nøgne Ø. So I thought we'd give them all a go in a Nøgne Ø tasting extravaganza. So we got 2 ciders and some beers. First off, we're going to be checking this one out. This is their alcohol-free beer called Stripped Craft, which is a lime-infused ale on 0% alcohol. So it's been a while since I actually tried an alcohol-free beer, and I don't think I actually ever reviewed 100% alcohol-free beer on the channel, but we're doing that now with Stripped Craft. So we're going to do the thumb scales for all of these because there's so many different beers. And ciders as well, so we're mixing everything up in this extravaganza. But yeah, super light golden color, very, very light in color. The white head on there, it almost looks like a cider. Let's check out the aroma. Smells like lime. Yeah, big lime-zest lemongrass. And there's a theme of lemon and lime things here, because a lot of these beers, they do have a lemon and lime zest, which is kind of fun. But almost a little bit of elderflower on there. Let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers, and thanks to Tom for the beers. It tastes like an elderflower mixed drink with a little bit of beer. Actually, it's super elderflower and lime forward, a little bit of lemongrass. It's actually rather tasty for a no-alcohol beer. Zesty lemon, lime, elderflower. Ooh, the aftertaste there was a bit off-putting because it reminded me a bit of Corona with lime. And that's just, I got that in my head now. A little bit of an almost tea leaf thing too. Not a half bad alcohol-free beer. Not much going on, but if you are driving or you are watching your alcohol intake but you want a beer, this could be something if you like kind of like lemon, limey, almost like elderflowery flavors. Light sweet maltiness, light mouthfeel, quite effervescence. Almost like, think one of these kind of like malt drinks. It does taste beer-like, but some like the malt-flavored beverages you can get, like malt extract beverages. I'll give it a thumbs to the side. It's something I'm kind of indifferent towards, but for a no-alcohol beer, it's actually rather decent. But I've had some that I prefer over that, though. So the next beer is Narrow Passage, a session IPA. This is one of the new beers he sent in the latest box, Tom. And this is a 4.5 session IPA that says it's easy, light, fresh, and balanced. And then it says Aureola, whatever that means. 4.5%, 30 IBUs. Not much about hops. There's some oats in there, I see. And yeah, it's their attempt of making a quaffable session IPA. So it's been a while since I had a session IPA. By the looks of it, it looks like this is kind of New England inspired. Is this hazy, very, very bright yellow color. Actually, very similar color to this, which is interesting. But yeah, white head on there. Let's check out the aroma. Interesting. It smells like an IPA version of the no alcohol beer. That is interesting. It's like lemon, lime, sweet citrus a little bit, but big lemon lime aromas. Not the elderflower thing. And some kind of like juiciness to it. It smells pretty decent. Let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, New England-esque. Ooh, it has like a very herbal, green, bitter aftertaste. I'm not a big fan of that. Otherwise, citrus, lime, lemon. It's a decent session IPA. Nothing crazy though, but it's enjoyable. The only thing there, like the green, peppery, green hop matter thing, stinging a bit on the palate. Nothing crazy though. Quite effervescent too. But otherwise, some nice hop flavor. Other than lemon lime, there's maybe a bit of pineapple. It's pretty decent. Not my favorite session IPA, but I still say a thumb up. Decent beer. Nice beer. So up next is the Hystrix Blonde, a lime-infused ale. It's funny, there's 2 Hystrix beers, a blonde and a Saison. So this one is 4.5% blonde ale, made with malted barley, malted wheat, and hops, of course, water, and then freshly pressed lime juice and yeast. So yeah, light, fruity, 4.5%, 15 IBUs. So I guess, I don't know if this is going to be like Belgian-inspired or whatnot. I didn't do all the research on these, actually, to be honest. But I should have maybe, but I wanted to do it a bit quick, so, because there's a lot of beer. But Pours pretty much the same color as the alcohol-free beer, just a shade darker. It's golden yellow color, white head. Let's check out the aroma. Yeah, it smells a lot like lime juice. It smells Belgian. I think it's like Belgian blonde, light Belgian blonde ale, the lime flavor. Let's try it. Ooh, yeah, big lime. Again, I'm also getting lemongrass on this. This lemon lime flavor going on there. Nothing crazy again. Like, it seems like they're trying to hit an audience that are like entry-level craft beer enthusiasts with this compared to some of the other stuff Nøgne does. I must say, there's beers from Nøgne I much prefer so far, at least from having these. Not bad beers, but they're very entry-level. Yeah, it tastes a bit to me slightly Belgian in character, but that could also just because it's called blonde and I got that in my mind, it might just be like a British blonde ale. But yeah, decent stuff. I'd say on this one also just almost, no, a thumb up. It's a decent blonde ale, but again, very, very entry level. Yeah, let's move on. Up next is the Hystrix Saison. So this is pretty much, I guess, the same idea. They made this lime-infused beer, and then they just went for a Saison as a base, and it's a whole lot stronger. This is 6% alcohol, and also 15 IBUs. And also has malted wheat and everything, and then the freshly pressed lime juice. So citrusy, fresh, and fruity, they say. A shade darker in color. Again, it seems like we move in the color like a shade darker, a shade darker, a shade darker down the line here. But yeah, white head. Let's feel the aroma. It actually seems lighter on the lime notes than the blonde. Yeah, the blonde has a bit more lime. This has a little bit more of a doughy breadiness and sweet malt. But again, it's very mild. It's, again, entry-level craft beer. At least from what I can gather. But let's try it. Cheers, guys. More lime on the flavor. Lots of lime, actually. A little bit of wheat, doughy breadiness. Not exactly like the dry and peppery phenolic flavors you usually find in a Saison. It's lacking a bit on those notes. But it's got the big breadiness. And maybe some grassiness. But very similar to the blonde, just a tad sweeter as well. Actually, they're very similar beers, these two. Lighter and more easygoing, a bit sweeter and more. Both seem like kind of like Belgian in vibe. Well, Saison is Belgian, right? But decent, also a thumb up. Nothing that's gonna rock your world. Again, entry-level craft beer. Up next, guys, is Nøgne Ø Konnjøl. So this is pretty interesting. This is, they call it a Norwegian farmhouse ale because it's using Kveik yeast. So if you've never heard of Kveik, it's a specific Norwegian way, or actually just ancient way of making beer, where yeast was collected over time, reused, and it was not just a single yeast strain, like single culture as most commercial beer brewing uses today. It was many different cultures that you'd reuse, and you'd use like these yeast rings that you put in your wort and fermented the beer with. It was also happening in Denmark, but I think it's more known in Norway. It was not exactly the same in Denmark. But it's interesting. I've never had anything made with Kveik yeast, so it'd be interesting. It's a very unique, I guess, group of yeasts that will dry out or ferment. Like, it ferments at high temperatures, like 40 degrees it can ferment up to, which is crazy. Ferments super quick. As I said, heat tolerant, and it can also, it produces lots of flavors, but no matter the temperature really you ferment it at, it produces pretty much the same things. And then it would like quickly drop out of suspension usually after fermentation, which is interesting. But this is going to be my first delve into Kveik, so I'll be a mate with Kveik. And they say traditional juniper, tropical, and green in terms of flavor, made with local water, malted barley, juniper branches, hops, and the Kveik yeast from ABVs, which is, I guess, is a farm. It's 6.5% and 20 IBUs. This will be interesting. So, again, a shade darker, more golden orange in color, and a white head on there. It'll be interesting to see if this is like farmhousey. Let's check it out. Ooh, it definitely is. It's got like smoky notes, and that is weird. It reminds me of a Fantôme beer. Fantôme is a famous Belgian brewery making saisons and farmhouse ales. It's almost got that same, like, almost like smoky, burnt rubber aroma. It sounds weird, but that's what I'm getting. And I'm definitely also getting something that reminds me of DMS, like cooked vegetables. I don't know if that's a characteristic from the yeast or it's from the beer itself, but that smoky, yeah, burnt rubber aroma, really getting a lot of that. They say tropical, I don't think so at all. Juniper, it smells very Nordic, very juniper forward, very, almost like walking in a pine or spruce forest. It's very earthy and foresty. It's quite unique smelling, actually. Let's try it, guys. Cheers. It's similar to Saison, but completely different as well. It's really reminding me, as I said, of Saison Dupont beer. Sorry, not Saison Dupont. Fantôme. Because it has like this smoky burnt rubber thing going on that I get in their beers. And then also this, like, yeah, it's like really, it's like burnt tires. Like if you're driving and you hit the gas on like on the, like you're keeping so you hit the gas and you make skid marks or whatever it's called on the road, you can smell that burning rubber. It's like the same kind of, it's almost like if you licked that and ate it. It's like burnt rubber flavor. It's weird. I don't like that too much. But the other flavor is like doughy and bready, and it has a very unique yeast character. Like almost like there's some apple, sugary apple flavor, and again a little bit of that vegetable, and like almost like sweet sugary oatmeal type flavor to it as well. And then mixed with like some bright citrusy-esque fruit flavor. Very weird beer. I need to try some more Kveik and just to get that, you know, style sorted a bit, or just work on how that ancient yeast tastes in different beers, because it's certainly unique. I'll give it a thumbs up for its uniqueness. It's actually reminding me a bit of some of the flavors you got in their Sunturn brew, now that I think of it. Okay, moving on to the cider, guys. We're starting off with Bad Apple, which is a 4.5% cider. It says it's sour, fruity, and natural, and it's made with cider apples from Normandy and apples from Sørlandet in Norway, local apples. So, okay, cool. Cider apples from Normandy. That's interesting. So I guess it's going to be like French cider, maybe? Again, these two are different in strength, but I believe one of them are supposed to be a bit sweeter, and the other one's supposed to be a bit drier. But let's check out the Bad Apple. Color is similar to most of the beers, actually. Hazy golden yellow. No head. Let's check out the aroma. I think it's the first. Ooh, that smells really nice. That's the first time I think I've reviewed a cider on the channel as well. It reminds me of Western cider. Actually, like it reminds me of British cider. Dry, almost like oaky apple aroma. It has a bit of sourness to it. It's almost a bit like vinegar, like that. I can't remember the sourness, the vinegar sourness. There's this specific, like the lactic sourness. Is it gastric? No, it's not. But it's like this vinegar sourness to it. And then apples. This actually smells pretty good. A little slightly funky. Let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, it's super dry, bone dry, and then appley and like a little bit corky, woody. It's not as funky on the flavor. Very light apple flavor, actually. I think a lot of people who drink ciders in Norway and Denmark wouldn't like this too much because it's more authentic, because it's not filled with sweetener. A lot of the ciders you get from like Somersby and whatnot and all these, or which is Carlsberg, is just like not really cider at all, and they're not that great, but yeah. Dry, a little bit of lemon lime almost too, but like dry sour green apple and a little bit of sweetness, but not much at all. But let's try and move on to the big brother Mad Apple. So Mad Apple is supposed to be even more dry, and it also uses local apples from Sørlandet and cider apples from Normandy. But yeah, it's 6.5%, and yeah, a little bit more dry, but also supposed to be very fruity. I mean, they look exactly the same in color. So let's check out the aroma. Ooh yeah, that's a bit more barnyardy, almost like musty, like old barnyard. It's a bit more funky. This has a little bit, but this is definitely more funky, the 6% one. the mad apple. Really dry, almost like oaky aroma. It's interesting that you get that from ciders, like this almost oaky, but I think that's the wild yeast on the apples that's producing some of that. Yeah, a little bit of dryness, like a dry, it's just like almost like apples you use for cooking, like sour apples, dry apples used for cooking. A little bit of pear almost too. It smells pretty good, but a bit more funky. Let's try it. Cheers. Well, I think this is more sweet, even though it says it's not supposed to be sweet at all. Yeah, I think so. It has a little bit more body to it, but it's also 6%, so alcohol also provides body, but a little sweet, dry, not a lot of carbonation. This has developed a little bit more, but they're naturally carbonated in the bottles, so that's the reason why. But it's very delicate, actually. It's like this delicate, tart, sour apple flavor. Actually, of all these beers, or all these products, it's the ciders that I think I like the most, which is interesting. It's dry, funky, farmyardy a bit as well. I'd say 1 thumb up for the bad apple, but I'd say 1.5 for the mad apple. It has a little bit more sweetness, which I like, but also the bigger funkiness. Yeah. Fun stuff. So that does it for the Nøgne Ø extravaganza of all their new stuff. As you noticed as well, the logos on here, they look different. They actually changed back to their old Nøgne design before they got really big, or at least they got more well known. They had a slimmer Ø, or O as some people say. The letter is called Ø, Nøgne Ø, the round O with a line through it. So they used that old thicker Ø instead. But yeah, fun stuff. I'd say it's more entry-level craft beer, at least from where I'm standing. It's fun stuff. It's probably not something I'd seek out again myself, except for maybe the ciders, because I actually enjoy them. But the others, I like, yeah, they're decent beers, but nothing that's going to rock your world. But it was fun to try them nonetheless. So thanks a ton to Tom from Nøgne for sending these one out. It was fun to see what's going on there right now. I really hope you guys are still going to do some crazy barrel-aged stouts and some of their big stouts that you're known for, like, yeah, Dark Horizon and everything. I think you do, but I haven't kept up with what Nøgne is releasing and whatnot for a long time, because there's just so much going on in craft beer. It's hard to keep up with everything. So if you guys had a chance to try any of these Nøgne products, let me know what you thought of them. Thanks a ton to Nøgne Ø for supplying them. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'm going to say cheers in some mad apple cider. Yeah, I was about to say sour cider, but just cider, farmhouse cider. And say cheers and see you guys in another beer review.